It's teaching time. Happy Finance Friday. As you all know, I am talking about different financial systems so that you can understand the intricacies and know how to utilize these systems for yourself. Right now, we are focusing on credit, and last week we just had an overview of credit, and today we are going to start talking about the components of your credit and the percentages and how they impact your credit. So we are only going to focus on two today because, it can be a very long conversation and we're going to keep this short. When it comes to your credit, there are 5 major components that impact it. 2 of those components basically make up the majority of your score. And those 2 major components are payment history and credit utilization. With your payment history and credit utilization, you have the most control over those 2 aspects. So let's talk about how you can utilize those to benefit your credit. So with your payment history, all that is basically measuring is you paying on time. That's really all it is. Now, there are different ways that it can impact you based off of how certain creditors report your payment history. And what I mean by that is some places have grace periods. So if you are 1 or 2 days late, those grace periods allow you to still pay without there being any penalty or fees or reporting. For other companies, they don't have grace periods. So if you're late, they may grant you 30 days before they report to your credit bureau, but some of them can be very petty and report very quickly. So with your payment history, the biggest thing you want to do is try to pay on time as much as possible. Now, if you are someone who pays on time all the time, but you don't have a lot of credit, you can see if some of the bills that you pay can be reported to your credit bureaus. If they do report those on-time payments, that will show not only your payment history, but will also impact your credit history as well. So, pay on time, see if some of the smaller bills can be reported on your behalf. Only report the bills that you know you're going to pay on time. You know what I'm saying? So if it's something you know you're not going to pay on time, don't have them report it because it's going to do more harm than good. Finally, if you think you will be late on something, talk to whoever you have to pay. There are some places that have hardship programs. There are some places that are willing to work with you, especially if you have a record of paying on time. Don't wait until the last minute to talk to them, and don't wait until the last minute to just not pay. If you have something due and you have a strong sense that you might be late, it may be good to talk to whoever you owe to see what your options are. So 35% of your FICO score, and FICO is one of the credit scoring models, and we'll go further into the different kinds, but 35% is payment history. Now the other 30, that is credit utilization. Credit utilization is probably, from my perspective, I have no statistics on this, and I probably just hit my mic, but credit utilization, from my perspective, is something that impacts majority of us the hardest. And that is because the higher your utilization, the lower your score is going to be and the more impact it's going to have on your score. That's typically why if you are trying to pay off debt, if you focus on paying your credit cards or revolving accounts first, your credit score is going to go up quicker. What credit utilization is basically measuring is how much of your line of credit or allotted credit are you utilizing? So how much of that are you using? An example of that would be if you have a line of credit or a credit card that has a limit of $1,000. If you use 200 of that 1,000, your credit utilization is 20%. Now 20% is a good percentage. Ideally, you would want to try to stay under 25%. You will hear a lot of professionals say 30 to 35%, but the closer you are to 30, 35%, like that's the maximum you want to go to before you really start seeing a negative impact on your credit. So if you want to be in a place where you feel safe and it's not going to negatively impact you more, then try to keep your utilization under 25%. There are also some professionals that say leave a balance on your credit card because that helps your credit score. This is when understanding how the system impacts you is very important. Sure, you can leave a balance on your credit card. It might help your score a couple of points. However, does it make sense to pay interest just so you could have a couple more points? If you are someone who wants to be debt-free or someone who wants to have little to no debt, you want to put your own personal goals above what people are telling you what to do. And so if you have an 750 and keeping a balance on your credit card gives you a 760, I don't think it's worth paying interest for that additional 10 points, because those additional 10 points, they're not going to make that much of a difference for you when it comes to getting offers and things like that. So with your credit utilization, please try your hardest to stay preferably under 25%, but under 30% is very important. The way that they measure your credit utilization is they look at all of your lines of credit. So anything that is considered a revolving account, which means you pay it off, you can use it. Pay it off, you reuse it. So it's revolving. Those are the accounts that impact your credit utilization the most. So I hope that this was helpful in understanding the two biggest portions of your credit score. The way you can use this information is pay on time, keep your utilization under 25%. If you have to have it above 30%, try to get it back under 30, because you will start seeing a more negative impact the higher the utilization is. If you need help understanding these concepts more, or if you just need help creating your own personal financial plan, I am here to help with you. You can schedule a money mindset session or any other type of financial counseling packages. So you've been ready to change your situation. So let's change it.